I'm hopping on today to do quick training on what to do in a situation where you want to follow your eating plan or you want to eat in a way that feels good for your body. But when you go to visit someone else or if you go out to eat, you're not quite sure what to do. So I had a client today that asked me a couple of questions, and one was around like their partner bringing home food that wasn't food that they wanted to eat, but them feeling like they couldn't say no because that would cause some conflict in the relationship. And also another situation where they were spending time with a family once a week, really enjoying that time, but again, feeling a bit, a lack of willpower is how they said it when they were picking some of those other foods. So here is a technique that you can use in a situation where you feel like maybe the food choices aren't going to be things that support you or your partner's bringing things in. One of the things to recognize is as an intuitive eater, you can eat whatever, so you could check in and say, hey, it's just one meal of the week. That's not going to make or break your nutrition focus, right? And remember, as an intuitive eater, a big part of that is going to be having self-awareness. So you could check in with yourself before you go to that party or that event with the other people. How hungry do I feel? Do I need to eat something before I go? Is that going to help me with the mindless snacking and stuff that happens? And when I do that behavior, how do I feel later on? Like when I get home at night, do I feel stuffed every week? Feel really lethargic? Is that waking me up in the night? So you can look at it from a couple of different perspectives. But it usually comes down to practicing a technique that I cover in the emotional eating group and within the expansion program, which is asserting yourself. So you don't need to have willpower. It's not about that. It's about having different tools at your disposal so you can have skill power. So asserting ourselves is hard. It's hard for people that suffer from problematic or emotional eating. We're usually the people that take care of everyone else. So it can be hard to sometimes say, hey, I have needs or I have this focus I'm working on and I need your support. So sometimes it could be easier if you wrote it down. So I talked to this client about writing things down and getting it on paper so he could remember what he wanted to say once he had that conversation. And it's also to come from a place of, I really appreciate that you're bringing me food. I really appreciate that you're thinking about me, or I really look forward to this time with you every week. I really look forward to that family time that we have, but I'm trying to do some healthier behaviors, or I'm focused on shifting my nutrition this way. So I might be bringing my own snack, or, I appreciate when you bring stuff home. I might not always eat it, and I don't want you to feel upset. But, depending how I feel and how the day's gone, sometimes I might eat that food that you bring me that's not in that healthy habit plan that I have. Because, yeah, as an intuitive eater, you can make that choice, right? But it's all coming back to self-awareness and practicing asserting yourself. It might be hard. It's usually harder with family members, right? And this client, he recognized that he has self-judgment around choices that he's making, so he's working on that as well. But asserting yourself, it could be, you practice it at the coffee shop when you order your coffee and they try to upsize you or sell something else. Or you practice it when you're out at a restaurant saying, like, don't bring the bread basket to the table. So you can do it in situations where it doesn't feel so heated or maybe tense, because it's with people that at the end of the day, you don't really care what they think, and you're not trying to argue with them, right? You're just trying to stand up for what feels best for you. So asserting yourself is one strategy. And it's just learning how best that works for you. It might be writing things down. It might be reading from your paper when you talk to them. Those are conversations that some of my clients that suffer from eating disorders have to have with, their parents or the other people that they live with, because, it can get a bit heated when they're concerned about their health and they're coming from a loving place, but it puts pressure on the other person. So that can happen when we're just trying to focus on becoming intuitive eaters and focus on healthy eating. And sometimes we need to have a tool to go to. All right, guys, I hope you're well. If you want a copy of the Assert Yourself strategy, send me a message and I'm happy to share that. Have a wonderful day and rest of your week.